November 19th, 2020 review. 3 bakers have shared their cookie recipes. Alright, so Mario, Petra, and Sarah. We need to compare the tables to order the bakers' cookies from the least buttery to the most buttery. So we have tablespoons of butter and number of cookies. So we need to finish the tables first of all. We do see a pattern here, 2, 4, 6, 8. But we don't know what the pattern's going to go for this 18 there. So what we can take a look at is if we do our noodle, how do you get from 2 to 4? Well, I know I multiply by 2 there. So if I multiply by 2 on that side, then I multiply by 2 on this side. But what times 2 equals 18? I know 9 times 2 equals 18. All right, now what about if we did 2 to 6? I know we multiply by 3. So what's 9 times 3? That's going to be 27. Ooh, look, we're going up by 9s. 9, 18, 27. How do we get from 2 to 8? You multiply by 4. 9 times 4 is 36. All right, let's take a look at the next one. We have 4 to 12. So 4, 8, 12, 16. So that's actually a pattern there. But this one's a little bit more tricky because we have 4 times 3 equals 12. So what times 3 equals 48? In other words, if you do 12 divided by 3, you would get 4. So what is 48 divided by 3? I know that's going to be 16. Ooh. Also, look what I just noticed. From 4 to 16, I can multiply by 4. If I multiply by 4 up there, is 12 times 4 48? Yes, it is. So we can do that throughout the whole table. What's 8 times 4? I know that's 32. We're going up by 16s here. And then 16 times 4. If we do 16 times 4, we get 64. Awesome, awesome. All right, let's take a look at this last table. This one I know for a fact that 6 times 5 is 30. So what is 3 times 5? That's 15. 9 times 5, 45. And then 12 times 5 is going to be 60. All right, so now we have our tables figured out. I'm going to delete all of our little extras so we can read the tables a little better because we need to compare. So there's one of 2 ways we can compare. We can either compare and see, okay, do they all have the same number in tablespoons of butter, or do they all have the same number in the number of cookies? So if I take a look here, I see 2, 4, 6, 8. I see a 4 and an 8. Do I have a 4 or an 8 here? No, but there's a 6 here and there's a 6 here. Okay, what about with the number of cookies? 9, 18, 27, 36. No. All right, so what we're going to have to do is compare a couple different ways. So I do know that this Mario and Petra share a 4 with the tablespoons of butter. So with their tablespoons of butter, Mario has 18 cookies with 4 tablespoons of butter. So that means, the tablespoons of butter for 4 with Petra is 16. So when you look at that, 16 cookies with 4 tablespoons of butter, 18 cookies, there's more cookies to spread it to, so this is going to be lower. So far we know Mario is like this, and then Petra is like this. So Petra's is more buttery because she has less cookies. Now, if we take a look here, if I change this color, if we take a look at and compare these 2 or compare 2 other ones, I know that there is a 6 here. We can do that. And then there's also a 6 here. So if we compare Mario and Sarah, if I move that down a little bit. There we go. Or actually, if I compare that with that 12, if I compare Petra because she is in the middle, with that 12 here, do you see how I looked and there's a 12 and a 12? So 12 tablespoons of butter, and then 12 tablespoons of butter. Perfect. So now the number of cookies, 48, with our number of cookies of 60. 60 has more cookies, so that's going to smooth out the butter more. So that's going to be less buttery than Petra. So it seems to be that Petra is going to be more buttery than Sarah, who is also going to be more buttery than Mario. We can also compare Sarah and Mario if you wanted to. Let's make this a different color. So if I compare Sarah and Mario, if I compare a 6 here, and if I compare that 6 there and the 6 here, I have 27 cookies and 30 cookies. So Sarah's is going to be less buttery than Mario's. Because so now we're gonna have to switch our Mario and Sarah, because Mario's butter is going to be Mario's cookies are going to be more buttery, because 27 cookies, that's less amount of cookies than Sarah's. So our answer is going to be Sarah, and then Mario, and then Petra. And that is our answer. So do you see how we had to compare all of our tables to figure out this order? Yep. And you see how sometimes if you change one thing, it can change the whole thing. Awesome job. That's it for our review.